Yeah, I'm back. I hope I can be heard. I don't know what happened with that last stream, but I'm hoping I can be heard. Shout out to my brother Sonic Boom TV for getting me right, man. But yeah. So today, what we're gonna talk about is we're gonna talk about Deante Kyle. We're gonna talk about him spazzing out. Dude, like he had like almost a breakdown. Like he was very upset about FBA, and he had some choice words. And we're gonna play the clip. I'm gonna play the clip, and we're gonna break it down, and we're gonna talk about the misinformation that he put out there. And we're gonna break that down because you know a lot of people, they go on attack mode and they don't really have their shit together. You know what I'm saying? Like the angles that they come in, at the lineage with, they could do better. I think they could do better. They keep coming with the same arguments, you dig? And I think they can do a lot better. But we're gonna listen to the video. We're gonna watch the video, and we're gonna discuss that. We're also gonna discuss the Minnesota uprising. We're gonna see what's going on with that. We're gonna talk about that, and we're gonna break down the latest unaliving the dude. I think what was his name, Paul or something like that. I forgot dude's name. Um, yeah, we're gonna get into it. Can I be heard, man? Can y'all hear me? Press one if you can hear me. Whoever's in there, press one if you can hear me. Somebody said my audio was bad the first time, so I had to click out, but I'm back. Can you hear me? You can hit my man. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. We're gonna get into this video. We're gonna check this brother out. Like I told y'all before, I started out rocking with dude. I was kind of digging what he was talking about. Very unapologetic, seemed very sincere, and I think he's sincere to an extent. But I'm gonna tell y'all what I think went on with this cat. I'm gonna tell y'all what I think happened with Deante Kyle. The first couple times I listened to him, he was talking about delineation. Okay, yes, he was, and somewhere along the line, something happened. But we're gonna get into all that, man. So I'm gonna run the clip and let's see what we got here. All right, y'all ready? Let's do this. FBA, the foundational Black American. These niggas ain't involved in nothing outside. They ain't doing shit outside. All right, that's the first. That's the first. That's the first. That's the first. That's the first thing we got. We got to unpack that real quick now. If you're not familiar, man, Foundational Black Americans, FBA, that's what that is. And that's just pretty much what we call ourselves instead of African American. It's a new term that delineates us and it kind of keeps us focused on the lineage instead of color, right? And it's not that it's a hate group. It's not that we don't like other, people from different places. It's just that we are a unique ethnic group, you know what I'm saying? And we've been getting neglected, you know what I'm saying? And at some point when you're being neglected, we're being neglected because, a lot of immigrants come over here and they get prioritized over us, you understand? So we said, hey man, something ain't right. Look here, we gotta really like stop all this whole people of color, minority stuff, and we gotta go into, straight delineation mode. We're foundational Black Americans. Our ancestors fought for everybody to come over here and have a good time. We did that. Our peoples did that. But a lot of people came over here and they was like, hey man, y'all need to stop talking about racism. Y'all need to stop talking about oppression. Y'all need to be quiet. Y'all need to do this, that, and the third. And we like, like, you know what I mean? Like, we don't talk like that. Let me tell you, a lot of strange stuff has been happening, right? And it's still happening. And it's like, hold up, what happened? Like, we don't talk like this. We've never talked like this. And we started to figure out, man, okay, some of these people are just not foundational Black American. That's why they might look like us. They don't talk like us. They don't have the same thoughts and experiences we have. So, foundational Black American is not a hate group. You know what I'm saying? This is just another term for African American because African American really doesn't describe us, who we are. Ayo, Faye, what it do? Who we got in the building? I'm gonna get to all the comments. I'm gonna get to all the comments. I do want to run this clip through. The first thing he said, I'm gonna run it back because the first thing he said was very important. You know what I'm saying? I think he's educated on what he said. I think he's just saying this just to say it. So let's run this clip real quick I want to turn this up real fast. All right, let's run it real quick. Check him out.
FBA, the Foundation of Black Americans. These niggas ain't involved in nothing outside. They ain't doing shit outside. They're on the internet looking for niggas that look just like them to degrade and call tethers all day.
All right, now let's, we're very objective over here at Top Flight TV. We're very objective. We're gonna be honest, okay? Um, you can go online right now, right? And you can find some channels of some foundational black Americans or those that call themselves foundational black Americans. And they kind of took this thing and they kind of ran with it and they started just calling people tethers all day. Let's just be real. There is a group of people, you understand, that do shit like that. But for the most part, dude said it's just some internet stuff. We're just on the internet. And the reality is we're everywhere. You understand? So when he tries to make it seem like we're a group, and we're just not a group, man. You know what I'm saying? We are the people who they call African Americans. So he can't just say, well, you're online. You're not outside doing nothing. I've been to 2 reparations rallies. You understand? Not that we have to do anything because it's not a group. You understand? So that's the first place. That's where he messed up in his opening statement. Deante said, "What do you think about whack?" I'll get to that. I'll get to your question in a minute. Hold on. Let's go through this video real quick.
I don't see these niggas doing no work against none of these fucking Nazis, none of these fucking Klansmen, nothing. All I see is them niggas calling out other black people all day.
Okay, so he said he doesn't see any foundational black Americans doing any work against the Nazis and against the Klansmen. I'm guessing he's talking about ICE. Now, Deante, what are you doing about ICE? Now, I can't speak for all. A lot of foundational black Americans, we don't really care about ICE. It's really not our concern. I just broke this down to somebody on Facebook, right? They were trying to tell me, that basically I was an asshole because I'm being neutral and I'm being objective when it comes to this Minnesota thing. But the reality is the same people that are crying injustice today for the last 4 years while Biden was in office, they didn't have nothing to say about any injustices. They felt like Biden is in office. Okay, Trump lost. We're happy. To hell with everybody else, right? See, those 4 years that Biden was in office, we were demanding things. We wanted things, for foundational black Americans. Everybody else, man, they gave us ass to kiss. They didn't want to hear nothing we had to say. But now everybody's crying because Trump is in office and everybody's getting that belt. See, before it was just us getting the belt. See, under the Democrats, black Americans get the belt, right? Now everybody's getting that belt, okay? And now people are crying and they don't like it. So I think Deante was saying that we're not fighting against the Nazis and the KKK. That don't even make sense. So we'll skip past that point because he really doesn't make sense, man. He just sounds very angry. Let's go back to the video.
That's divisive as fuck. Questioning niggas. Where you from? Where was you born? They gotta show you your freedom papers?
Yes. Great point. Deante, whatever, Winnie the Pooh. We call that nigga Winnie the Pooh. This is Winnie the Pooh, y'all. He said that we're asking people, where are you from? Yes, we're asking people where they from because a lot of these niggas, they are talking crazy. Okay? A lot of these niggas are talking like where are you from, bro? Like, why are you saying the things that you're saying? Why are you telling us to stop talking about racism? Why are you telling us this, that, and the third? Where are you from? We have to ask that question now. Listen, look, unfortunately, we have to ask that question. When you see a black man say, hey, we don't need reparations, nigga, where are you from? You're not, who are you? Who are your peoples? This is why we have to ask where people are from. You understand? Yeah, let me turn the volume up on the video. I got you. We about to run some more footage of this video. But this is why we have to ask where people are from, because there are people that look just like us that are saying things that we don't represent, that we've never represented. You understand? So we got to make a distinction. All right, boom. Let's go back to the video.
Damn, massa. I gotta show you the freedom papers. Who is these niggas on this tag? Bunch of motherfucking Stevens over there trying to check a nigga blood. Want to check a nigga papers.
Yes.
Like ICE.
Yes.
Three-letter organization. Healing and perspective or hate speech and fear mongering.
All right, so this guy has a nice way of using psychology, and he has great words. I like the way he did that. He likes to use certain words and get to an emotional. He likes to make an emotional argument that we're fear mongering and all this other stuff. But the reality is, he's acting like a lot of people in the community are just doing this out of hatred, or we're doing this for no reason. He's not telling you the other half. He's not telling you that the Somalians, right, call us bullet bags. The Somalians call black Americans bullet bags. When I first heard that 4 years ago, I couldn't believe my ears, okay? It was a Somalian, my complexion, that calls us the N-word with the ER and calls us bullet bags. You understand? So, you know, we got to really put this in proper perspective. Taylor asked a question. She says, what is his name? He said his name is, his name is Deante Kyle. Let's get back to him, though. Let's get back to him.
But a lot of us only know how to be in community with abusers. So when niggas start talking about healing, when niggas start talking about organization, when we start talking about inclusion, we start talking.
Let's stop right there because, as y'all know, Nicki Minaj, right? And I'm gonna use Nicki Minaj as an example. This guy right here is telling us that we're wrong because we're asking people where they're from, right? And he's saying that there needs to be inclusion. But as you see what Nicki Minaj just did, right? And I can't wait until I hear him talk about Nicki Minaj, if he even does it. Because what Nicki Minaj did and is doing goes against everything that he's saying. He's acting like there's some big kumbaya. He's acting like there's some big unity fest going on amongst all these different groups. He's acting like black and brown really exists. Like there's really a thing where black and brown are so tight and close. We all know that if your ass go to prison, if you go to the federal penitentiary, the Mexican gangs, they align themselves and they ally with who? White supremacist gangs. They ally themselves with Nazis. And these are the people they try to tell us we should be going to fight for. And I fuck with Mexicans. It's a lot of Mexicans I fuck with. But I'm not going to put my life on the line for a group of people that if I happen to go to the penitentiary, they're going to be my enemy. And this is penitentiaries all across the world. You understand? Let's be real clear, man. I want to use Nicki as an example. This guy, Deante Kyle, Eggs and Grits podcast, is telling us that there needs to be unity. There needs to be inclusion. And foundational black Americans, we're being divisive. But as you see, let's just say we took, come on, Nicki, come on, she's Trinidadian, I think. Come on, y'all come over here. And then Nicki pulls this shit. See, this is why we ask where you from, right? Because Nicki, she just got her gold card. And I'm not mad at her, whatever. What she did, it was nasty work. Being as though she came up, under, black Americans really made her who she is. You understand? So the fact that he's telling us that there needs to be unity, this is great. Like this is great. I can't wait till he does an episode on Nicki Minaj. Because I want to go and I want to ask him, I want to say, hey man, but what about the unity? I thought we supposed to include everybody. Like, look at your Trinidadian sister. Look what she did. And it's not that we, don't like other people. It's just that we're saying, hey, this is who we are. you're different. Because they've been telling us we're different all our life. They've been saying, hey, I'm not black, I'm Jamaican. I'm not black, I'm Trinidadian. This is what's been going on, right or wrong. Am I lying? Somebody stop me when I'm lying. Most people are only black when it's convenient. You dig? James Kite, you don't need to recommend this channel, sir. Let me get you out of here since you hate this channel so much. Let me get him up out of here. And I don't even be getting people out of here like that. But he gotta go. Wayne Schultz says she's pardoning, she's trumping up in hopes of a pardon for her man. No, what she got what she wanted. She got the gold card that makes her a citizen. And I'm not mad at that. That's a smart move for her. But she has to realize she sold out her fans. But the whole point in me saying this is an example of why we delineate. This is an example of why we're delineating. You understand? Now let's go. Let's finish the video, man. Hold up.
Talking about mass communal practices. You've never seen that. That's not your experience. That's not where you feel comfortable. Calling niggas names, checking niggas verification. What hood is this? What hood is that? Now, if we was gangbanging and killing each other, it would be a problem. But it's not a problem when a nigga asks where you from, and it's on the internet, and it's on the basis of a culture that we created out of oppression. You don't want to let other niggas participate in your culture because they come over here and degrade him. And you know the business of colonization better than anybody. These niggas is brainwashed. I'm not going back and forth with no nigga that come here from another country in search of the American dream when I know this shit is a nightmare.
Let's stop right there. That's another thing I had a problem what he said. He said the American dream is a nightmare. And hold on, let me finish this. I think he said something else. Hold up, let me finish this real quick. Hold up.
I'm not going back and forth with no nigga that think he finna get some favor from these white people. I see you niggas that's born in America do the same shit.
Okay, so let me say this. You know, this is what the Democrats is telling him to talk about. This dude is clearly. Let me save that because I want to get to that when I'm done the video. It's only a couple more seconds in this video. But yeah, this dude is goofy. Sonic Bone TV. You know, and I don't want to go too hard on him because I was rocking with him until, you know, he started talking crazy about the lineage, man. He's saying that the American dream is a nightmare. Now, I would like to say that I live the American dream. Okay, I'm going to say that. Now, can it be a nightmare for me at times? Am I still subjected to racism? Absolutely. But for him to act like America is so bad to him, and I've been there, and I had to check myself. Nigga, you're here. You're here in America. See, I don't respect nobody. I don't respect none of these conscious niggas, right? That talk about how bad America is. But they're over here enjoying America. It's 2026. You should be able to know how to get to another country. Okay? It's not that expensive to pack your shit up and move. And I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I'm saying that in a real way. If America was so bad, right? A lot of conscious niggas, they say it's the hill, the what do they call it? They call it the wilderness, the wilderness of North America or some shit like that. And they act like this shit is so bad to them, right? But they're still here. You understand? So let me finish this video and we're gonna chop it up. I'm gonna get to all questions and comments. Give me 1 sec. Let's do this.
Michigan head coach. That nigga ain't no tether. Stephen A. Smith ain't a motherfucking tether. How many niggas have we seen tap dance and degrade black people that are from America, born in America? When niggas do it from abroad, I don't say.
See, we call the guys that are here, we call them raccoons. So this nigga is he's just saying stuff like he's not even making sense.
The issue with them, I know that they're brainwashed by the system because they went through colonization over there just like we went through it over here. Why the fuck is they leaving Africa? Because Europeans are destabilizing their countries, inserting capitalist dictators, fascist dictators in more democratic socialist societies, toppling governments, and then sending the niggas fleeing. Where did they go? To America.
Okay, that's cool, right? And we were rocking with that. But what he just said was the reason why Africans and other people come to America is because the powers that be are corrupting their systems and colonizing their lands. We got that. And we were all for that. We like, hey man, brother, come on over here. Oh, you African, come on. Everybody, we love, I did, listen. I'm still on that. But at some point, these other groups will come over here and be like, hey, why are you talking about racism? Why are you talking about oppression? I came over here with $15 and I'm doing just fine. I'm happy. And they were talking to us like we're lazy, and they call us lazy akatas, and they call us all kind of derogatory names. So what he's saying is half true. He keeps saying half truths. You understand? So let me run the video. We got like 30 seconds left. Let's go.
And what do? They come through with their religious minds, with their colonized minds, and destable Black American revolutionaries because they don't know no better. And it's a bunch of niggas in America that don't know no better. They only are used to being in community with abusers. We have been oppressed in this country for 400 years. Some of us don't know how it feels not to be oppressed. Some of you ain't comfortable if you're not oppressed. You've never created an idea of what freedom looks like for you. Black Americans, and I advocate for this, nigga, me and Big Cat are the blackest of Black Americans. We are true to the Black American experience. We are proud. We also understand that our story doesn't start here nor end here. The Panthers were Pan-Africanists. Marcus Garvey was a Pan-African.
All right, see, he's talking this Pan-African shit. And to put it real plain, right? You know, that shit is dead, man. That shit is over. Niggas tried that. We did that. And it's done. It's over with. There is no more Pan-Africanism. It hasn't worked. It hasn't done anything. You understand? The reality is, I'm going to give you my take on this whole video. This dude, right? This dude is bought and paid for by the Democrats. I'm going to say that. I kind of figured it when I saw him pop up. I'm going to tell you why I know that somebody is funding this dude. You understand? Somebody powerful is funding dude. Now, let me tell you, when I first saw his platform last year, it was kind of rinky-dink, right? It was like any other platform. And I'm saying this because I've had a platform. Now, I know what it takes to be viral like this dude. Every time I get on the internet, he pops up. Meaning, this guy is being funded. They're pushing him into the algorithm. Now, another reason why we know that he's a bought and paid for liberal flunky is because of his associations. Now, he posted a clip on Instagram of him bashing FBA, right? Yeah, I think his mother's white. And I ain't gonna knock him for that. I personally won't knock him for that. He needs to kind of tone down his he needs to poke his chest back in a little bit because of that fact. He needs, look, I'm cool with that. But he needs to chill, bro. Like, you're not really in a position. You're not really in a position to go as hard as you're going. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. But the reason why we know that he is sent or he is funded by the Democrats is because of his associations. We know Conscious Lee, a guy named Conscious Lee. He is a Democratic flunky. My son agreed. See, what put the stamp on it for me was when my son commented, was like facts. Like my son is a paid Democrat flunky that doesn't stand for shit, right? He's a fake, like big lip fucking. What's wrong with that nigga's lips, man? What's wrong with my son's lips? That nigga's lips is crazy, bro. You did. So this dude has an agenda, okay? He has an agenda, and he's very hurt. And I'm not gonna spend too much more time on him because the reality is a lot of people have tried to interfere with the delineation. A lot of people have tried to attack FBA. Of course, they're gonna talk about Brother Tariq Nasheed. And I like the fact that Brother Tariq was so insightful, right? And he knew. And man, let me tell you. See, a lot of the stuff that they say, see, this dude, he did a whole nother clip about Tariq, right? And a lot of people talk about Tariq's Mackin book and his little Mackin stuff, how to Mac and all that. Cool. But I do want to say this, man. They try to attack that brother as if he is some sort of leader. You understand? Now, a lot of us that are FBA, we know we got love for Tariq, but that man is not our leader. You know what I'm saying? I have had my disagreements with some of the stuff that he talks about and says. I'm not in a cult. You understand? I'm a grown man, and some shit I agree with, some shit I don't agree with. I don't always like his approach, but that brother is brilliant. You understand? And when they try to come for him, it doesn't work the way they think it's going to work. We've seen a lot of people over the years try to come for brother Tariq. It just doesn't work, man. You know what I'm saying? So big shout out to Tariq, man. Big shout out to the FBA family. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about Minnesota, man. Let's talk about what's going on in Minnesota. Roland Porter said, you have an agenda too. What is my agenda, Roland? What's my agenda? My agenda is just to give my truth, man. Look here, I'm no expert, I'm no scholar. I come on here and give my opinion, okay? And I give my feelings and my thoughts and my experience. We're gonna move on to Minnesota. As you all know, it's uprisings going on in Minnesota. Every time I turn on the news, every time I turn on the internet, they are out there acting a goddamn fool. These people are acting a fool out there in Minnesota, man. And I am objective in this whole thing. I am not on either side. I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. Am I in favor of what ICE is doing? No. Am I in favor of ICE? The concept of ICE? Sure. ICE, the concept of ICE is for a group of federal agents to go and remove illegals. Okay? Am I in favor of that? Hell yeah. It's people telling me I'm wrong because I don't have compassion for illegal people that came over here. You understand? They're telling me that I should people are literally telling me that I should think it's okay that people just walk across the border. I noticed, I want y'all to look though, a lot of the people that are protesting, look at some of those clips. A lot of the people that are protesting, they don't have no family. They don't have kids. They don't really have a lot going on. A lot of these people that are protesting are anarchists. They're weird Antifa type of people. They don't really have a lot to lose. You understand? So, and I know this because I've been out in those protests and I've seen people out there that were just out there to cause destruction. They didn't care about the cause. And you can tell what's going on out in Minnesota. It's just a lot of people rebelling just to rebel. A lot of people don't even care what the hell they rebelling against. A lot of these people just don't like Donald Trump. Let's just be real about it. And that's fine. But what's going to happen is they're going to get everybody in some shit. All right. What's going to happen is when they declare civil war and people start shooting each other in the face, then it's going to affect everybody. You understand? I've been watching clips from Minnesota. We saw the guy, Paul, I think his name is. He was unalive, man. That was an M1. You understand? That was definitely a murder, man. The lady, Renee Good, I believe that was an unlawful pew-pew as well. You understand? There's no reason that lady should have been unalived. You understand? But on the flip side, okay, on the flip side, these people out there blocking ICE. They acting a fool, man. They cruising, as we would say, they cruising for a bruising, man. You know what I'm saying? I've been on the front lines of the protests, so I can speak on this. Okay, I've been outside when the tear gas was flying past my face and the rubber bullets were zooming past my head. I've been on the front line. So one thing I do know is you should have your limits when you out there. You should not just be out there acting crazy, all up in that federal agent's face, right? You got to know your limits, man. It's really not peaceful protests. A lot of the stuff that they showing, it's just not peaceful. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people are fucking lunatics, man. You dig? And what's going to happen is they are going to incite something way bigger. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's going to have to get involved. The state of Minnesota also has blood on their hands. What's the governor's name out there? Or the mayor or the governor? Waltz, Tim Waltz, is that his name? He has blood on his hands. Inciting, they are inciting these people, these agitators to go out there and act a fool. You understand? Um, I had an argument with somebody online, and they were basically trying to make it seem like I'm supposed to have a stake in this fight because black and brown people are being locked up and sent out of here. Slow down. We just talked about delineation. You dig? We just talked about delineation. And if it's not foundational black Americans being shipped out of here, then I really don't care, man. You dig? And that's just the way it is. That's just the way it gotta be. Kunik Joe Soccer says that's not okay. That people should just walk across the border. No, I agree. I agree. And people are trying to make it seem like I should be okay with that. As a 45-year-old taxpayer with kids, that is absolutely ridiculous. That is absolutely absurd. Everybody, let me tell you something. Most of the people that I see that are fighting for this, you know, this world where people can just walk across the border, they don't have kids, bro. They don't have shit. You dig? Roland Porter said, watching you from Canada, living there for 40 years, originally from Jamaica. Do you know about Jamaican history? Shout out to you, Roland. Yeah, I know a little something about Jamaican history. Samuel Barber said they also taking jobs that we used to work when we were teenagers. Now our teenagers can hardly find work. Salty Dog said because we had a common enemy. Big Daddy Rod said, okay, all right, cuz, come on, man. He said no open borders, period. I agree. I agree. They out there stealing big money, man. Those Somalians and whoever else. I'm not gonna just put it on Somalians. I'm sure they were in cahoots with the local government as well. Somebody was getting a piece of that pie, man. It wasn't just the Somalians. But these Somalians had the nerve to come over here and steal millions of dollars. And now they telling us like, hey, we're not going nowhere. Okay? And some shit is just not cool, man. Like, you listen, in any empire, right, you just can't run rampant. And that's why I'm glad Joe Biden and Kamala Harris didn't get back in the office. Because they lived in some fantasy land where they was gonna let everybody over here, right, to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do, right? As long as they were getting their numbers, as long as they were filling their quotas, and as long as they were getting the votes that they need. And Trump came through and said, no, 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 no. That's not happening. Y'all got to go home. And the thing about it, they were paying people to go home. They were paying people. They said, hey, look, I'm going to break you off some bread, hop on the plane and go before we got to come get you. So they try to act like, and again, I'm not a Trump supporter. I'm not a Republican or Democrat. But they acting like ICE is just they're Nazis, they're Gestapo, they're all this other shit. They were paying people to go home. Why didn't the people that cared so much encourage anybody that was illegal? Why they didn't encourage them to take that money and go? You dig? That's what they should have did. Who else is gonna get unalived? How many more unalivings are they gonna have? That's the question. Next time it's not gonna be one person, it's gonna be a whole bunch of people. Somebody gonna pop out there. Let me ask you, why hasn't somebody popped out there and really I wanna watch my words. Okay, so the Democrats, y'all are very angry, right? And y'all, it's just a major injustice, right? Why hasn't anybody popped out there and set it off? Just really set it off. You dig? That's what I want to know. I got people that are here in Maryland that are acting like they're on the front line. Let me tell you something. When I was pissed and I was angry, I went outside and I protested. I went out front of the White House and stood in front of tanks. You understand? These people, a lot of these people playing, they not ain't outside. Y'all can go to Minnesota. Y'all can go and join a real protest, not in these little small towns. I'm talking about a real protest. You dig? A real uprising. You know what I mean? Salty Dog says it's coming. Believe that. I'm sure, bro. And it's a shame, right? It's a shame because at the end of the day, man, there are rules. You dig? There are borders. There are rules, and I can't walk over to somebody else's country and just think I'm gonna set up shop. You see what I'm saying? I can't do that. They'll deport me if they don't take my life. So, what makes people think that they can come and do the same thing here, right? Uh, I don't know, but I'm happy to see that this shit is getting rectified. You dig? I don't have any sympathy or empathy whatsoever. I'm gonna call you BDR. BDR said we all are caught in the middle of this ish. Yeah, we are caught. A lot of us are caught in the middle. And the thing is, like, a lot of us we see the bullshit on both sides. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that's just for one side, they full of shit. As a human being, as a grown person, you should be able to say, you know what? You should be able to step back and say, you know what? My side is doing some bullshit. That side is doing some bullshit. But people are not doing that. They just blaming Trump or they blaming the liberals. It's both of them. It's both of them. And the reality is, at some point, shit is going to implode, man. You dig? Roland Porter says, I don't agree with Trump, but you cannot allow people to come illegally into a country. 1 million Indians came from India in the last 4 years. Yeah, yeah, yeah. BDR said it's a big game. Yeah, it's definitely a lot of this stuff is set up, y'all. Okay, a lot of this stuff. I gave y'all the story on my last broadcast about what I witnessed when I went to one of these uprisings. A lot of this shit is staged. You understand? A lot of these players, a lot of these people in the street, they're actors. Believe me, I didn't believe it. I didn't believe somebody can go out their way, right, to do that. But they are a lot of these people are actors. They're paid agitators. You got a mixture. You got some actors. You got some paid agitators. You got a whole group of people that are out there for different reasons. You dig? Salty Dog said, "My cat got ran over. Trump did it." Yeah, that's how they sound. They blame Donald Trump for every damn thing. But the reality is, uh, they just don't like Donald Trump. They're not concerned with making America great. You understand? They don't care. America could be some shit. Under Joe Biden, man, it was so terrible, bro. Like I'm gonna say for me, business wise, because I'm a business owner. Business wise, under Joe Biden, it was terrible. These people just don't care. Let me tell you, business is back up and flowing, dog. Like I want to tell y'all something. No lie. And this made, I don't know what caused this. Last year, January 1st, business went right back to normal. When was the inauguration? The 7th? When Trump won the election in November. January 1st, my business went right back to normal. And it's been good ever since. When I, when Joe Biden was in office, I listen, I'm just telling you my experience, okay? When Joe Biden was in office, shit was tough, man. It was tough. You dig? Salty Dog said the only difference, Petty was armed with a gun and Good was armed with a vehicle. I want to say this. As far as Good, right? The lady, Renee Good, I don't believe she should have been unalived. I believe she panicked and she accelerated on that gas. I also believe that that officer, he had plenty of time to get out the way. You dig? I believe that officer had plenty of time to get out that way. You understand? And look, BDR. I'm not one of those people that are going to give ICE and Trump absolute power. You understand? I'm not on that. All right. I believe all of those protesters need to go to hell home. Right. But at the same time, that officer that killed Renee Good, he was trigger happy. Okay. He let off three as if that was going to stop the car. If there's a car coming at you, what would you do? Would you let a round off or would you get out the way? Okay, so now on the flip side, uh, Renee and her wife, they should have let them people do their job. You understand? They should have got the hell out the way. See, they tried to use white privilege for immigrants. They tried to use white privilege for immigrants. See, America cares more about immigrants than they do foundational black Americans. And that's what I have a problem with. You dig? These people in the street, right? These people in the street care more about immigrants and dogs than they care about foundational black Americans. You dig? I'm talking about the people that built the country. Our ancestors built this country, and they're so worried about people that just crossed over the border illegally. Some wild shit, man. That what's the dude's name that got unalive recently? What's his name? I want to touch on that real quick. What's dude's name? Peter, Paul. I forgot his damn name. Anyway, the last victim out there in Minnesota. Uh, from what I saw on the video, I don't believe he should have been unalived either. Now there is manipulation with these videos. Pretties, yeah. There's a video of Mr. Pretties out there acting a plumb fool. I'm not laughing at him. I'm laughing at the situation. It's like they kind of do this shit on purpose. It's like they'll show, look, Alex, yeah, thank you, William Walker. It's like they'll show somebody get unalived and then they'll wait. See, they show dude get unalive, right? Then they'll wait, let it simmer. They'll let everybody make their opinion, right? They'll let everybody make their opinion, make themselves look like a fool, and then 2 days later, they'll release some additional footage. No, that video is real. Huey X5. There are two different angles from that video that people are saying is AI. You got a dude out there spitting at officers, and he kicked one of their tail lights out. Don't tell me it's AI. I'm a video editor I do video editing for a living. Okay? I'm a videographer for a living. Don't tell me that was AI. That was not AI. You dig? Now, I gotta point out the hypocrisy of the Republicans. They're like, you shouldn't have had a gun. You shouldn't be armed. Even Donald Trump said you can't have guns. What? Since when? Since when you can't have guns? Samuel Barber said you can't harass the police with a gun on you. Um, was he harassing the police? Big Daddy Rod said just follow the law. Look, I keep calling him by his damn name. BDR, listen, bro. Listen. BDR says just follow the laws. See, now, the law is, show me the law where it's a death sentence to flee from police. See, this is what I don't like about the Republicans. Shout out to Julie Mahler. This is what I don't like about the Republicans. Just follow the laws. The law, where does the law say that you can be unalived for fleeing and eluding? Or where you could be unalived for resisting arrest? What law? Show me those laws. And see, the thing is, the Republicans, a lot of the MAGA crowd, they think that only the police I mean, only the civilians should follow the law until it comes to them and their guns. And then it's don't tread on me, right? Yeah. No, I agree. All right, they should stay home. Roland Porter said Kyle Rittenhouse had a gun. Yeah, see, it's so much contradiction. It's so much. Kyle didn't just have a pistol; he had an assault rifle. You dig? BDR said it's not worth losing your life over this. Now, some people believe that this is a fight worth a cause worth fighting for. They feel as though people's rights are being violated. Okay, now I'm not mad at people fighting for that. Okay, I'm real big on people taking to the street if they need to, but I believe that there's a way to go about this. The people I see in the street are fucking lunatics. They are acting a goddamn fool, man. Okay, there's no structure. There's no type of decency. They just out there acting a fool, begging to get unalived. You dig? Samuel Barber said yes. He was harassing the police when he kicked. Yeah, okay, yeah. In that instance, I'm talking about when it went down. When it went down, I'm talking about he had his back turned to the police, and then he saw the lady getting manhandled, and he decided to jump in the middle of the way. That was crazy. Pictoric Historic says dumbest take yet. What was dumb, brother? Marquita said, "Hey, Top Flight TV, Marquita from Jersey. Shout out to you, Marquita. Shout out to New Jersey too." Big Daddy Rod said he was a troublemaker. Yeah, I bet he was a troublemaker. But does being a troublemaker mean you should be unalived? If that's the case, we're all in trouble. Okay. If you guys are gonna listen, this is a very objective page. I'm not side with none of you bastards because both sides are crazy. Okay? Is it don't tread on me or is it obey? Which one is it? Should we just obey? Big shout out to everybody in the building, man. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Deceiver, 123, what it do? Darnell Hamlet, what it do? Big shout out to everybody in here, man. Yeah, but for the most part, man, I don't see any Somalians on the front line. I haven't seen any footage of the Somalians or Mexicans in Minnesota. I've seen a bunch of white folks on the front line in this Minnesota uprising, which is strange. Where are all the immigrants? Where are the immigrants' families? Why are they not outside? What are they laying low? What are they laying low for? Some of these people are citizens. They not gonna put it all on the line for their family members. They should put it all on the line. Everybody should go, right? See, this is what I mean, and this is another reason. See, listen, check this out. We just talked about Deante Kyle in the Grits and Eggs podcast, and he's talking about this big unity fest that we supposed to be having. Everybody have unity, and what's interesting is a lot of these immigrant groups, they not even fighting for themselves. Where would the fucking unity be if we align ourselves with them? They're not even fighting for themselves. They hiding. There's white folks out there fighting for them. Come on, man. Come on. We supposed to unify with motherfuckers that won't even fight for themselves? What makes you think they're gonna fight for our cause? Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. Black LA, what it do, homie? Yeah, man. I mean, think about that for a minute. Think about that for a minute. Yeah, no, we're minding our own business. Trust me. No matter people try to guilt and shame me into caring about this shit. It's great conversation. It is like a precursor. It is something that we can look at and say, hey, this right here can spill into something else. It probably will spill into something else. But at the end of the day, man, They're gonna have to get it together. I believe the governor, the mayor of that state needs to to call everybody together and make a statement. I also believe that ICE members should speak out as well. If they're not who they say, they calling ICE members the Nazis and the Gestapo. If these guys aren't Nazi, if these guys are not Gestapo, they need to, have some video and let them speak for themselves and say, hey, we're just here trying to do this, this, and this, and this, and this. A lot of the ICE agents are Latino, okay? A lot of the ICE agents are Latino. You got some brothers sprinkled in there, right? Andy S says, bruh, if they go out there to protest, it's a good chance they get booked. Well, dog, this is called revolution. What the fuck? You just proved my point. They not riding out for this. It's showtime, dog. It's shine time. They supposed to be on the front line, whether they gotta go home or not. Well, come on, man. They can and got the 40 acres without the mule. Yeah, there shouldn't be no scared business. This is, they look, they take it from what they're saying because I don't know what's true. I don't know what's true anymore. I don't know what side to believe. I don't believe either side. You understand? I don't trust either side. I'm leaning towards the right side because they're getting these, getting immigrants up out of here. Get them up out of here, man. They gotta go. You dig? If I break the law, I'm going to jail. Right or wrong. If you cross the border illegally, you gotta go home. I don't care about your feelings. I don't care who likes it or not. If I do something, if I go down to the store right now, okay, matter of fact, if I go down to the bank right now, and I now illegally withdraw $200,000 with a weapon, nobody's gonna be out in the street protesting for me. You dig? Same with the illegals. If you cross the border, you break the law, you're trespassing, you gotta go home. They even tried to pay people to go home. They said, we're gonna give you some money. That doesn't sound like a dictatorship. That doesn't sound like somebody that's just so big and bad and just angry and mean. He said he gonna give you a couple of dollars, man. Go home. Black L8 says they can't. Oh, I already read that. Jonathan says, show that one more time, my G, because people think that the stories don't sell them. No, I don't know what you saying, homie. XZ said crossing the border illegally is different than murder. I don't understand what that means either. We know that. We already know that. That no shit. That's not the point. That's not the point. Yeah. The point is, don't ask me to feel sorry, right? That's cool. It's a misdemeanor, no problem. Okay, see, I take it I got some people in the crowd, right? In the audience. And I want to hear from you. I'm glad you're here. I want to ask you a question. Do I have anybody here that is pro illegal immigration? That you don't mind if people cross that border illegally? Press one if you don't mind. And no judgment. I'm not going to judge you. But I want you to participate. Press one if you don't mind if people cross the border illegally. I want to hear from you because I have a question to ask you. Marvel says, you're black though. You just got your right 65 years ago. That wasn't too long ago. You should be the last to talk. How does an immigrant affect your life daily? Okay, so we got some good people here. Marvel, you're absolutely correct. We just got our right 65 years ago. Now let me tell you, I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm gonna answer your question. Marvel, listen, I'm gonna answer that question. Now, how does immigration affect my life? I want to give you an example, okay? There's an example, Byron Donaldson, and I use this example often. Byron Donaldson His mother is from Jamaica, and his father is from Panama. He's an anchor baby. His parents are immigrants. He comes from an immigrant background. Okay, I'm just giving an example. I'm not saying I hate immigrants or nothing like that. I'm just saying. Byron Donaldson is a politician. And this guy, okay, this guy is speaking on things that go against foundational black Americans' best interests. So, yes, I am affected by illegals and people who look like me, but are not of my lineage. Now, there are many, many ways that illegal immigration harms me or potentially could, and you. And this is the question I want to ask everybody. And I'm glad y'all pressed one. I'm glad y'all not scared to participate in this conversation because I believe we should be just having a real, truthful conversation. But I want to ask everybody that is okay with people just walking across the border with no paperwork. We don't know who they are, where they're from, what they got going on, what they just did, or what they about to do. I want to ask y'all, how many of these people do you think are positioning themselves or that could possibly be of a terrorist cell? When it comes to warfare, okay, we know America is the most hated. Okay, we're the most hated country in the world probably. We have done a lot. Okay, I can't. I'm gonna just say we because I am an American. I'm a foundational Black American. Why would you all feel comfortable with the borders just open? Y'all think shit is all peace and love out here? Do you think that there aren't groups of people that want Americans to fall? I want somebody to answer that. And the people that press one, do you have children? And do you pay taxes? From a security standpoint, from a security standpoint, the fact that y'all are saying y'all don't care if people come over here undocumented, that shit is ridiculous. That means you guys aren't militant. You're not strategic at all. You're just like, hey, come on over, and potentially y'all could just blow some shit up, okay? Or y'all could just cause a terrorist attack. That's just not smart. Mr. Fox says, is it cold out here or you smoking drugs? Uh, I'm paranoid. Okay, I'm paranoid. So you believe, okay, so that's fair. That's fair. Okay, so I'm paranoid. XZ, Mr. A. So you believe that nobody wants to do America any harm, that it's just all love, it's peace, love, and happiness out here. And we should just let anybody walk over the border. That's what you believe. Lord Ronnie said, you're being made to worry about the powerless, so you don't focus on the powerful. I like that. Now let me say this to you, Lord Ronnie. I'm not focused on the powerless. This is just for conversation's sake. This is why I'm not against ICE and I'm not against Trump and I'm not against his policies. I'm just letting y'all know why I'm not up in arms about people getting sent home. So it's not that I'm worried about the powerless, okay? A lot of the let me tell you something, man. A lot of immigrants come over here and they undermine foundational Black Americans. They tell us to stop talking about racism. They tell us there is no oppression. What are you talking about? You dig? Good. James said, well, I'm against you. There's no problem, bro. James says, but you go talk to some Native American. Oh, I'm part Native American, sir. Okay? I am part Native American. All right. Arkansas said, why fight for people that's against reparations? Thank you. Arkansas 223 is in the building. I appreciate you, my brother. Talk to these people. You dig? See, sometimes my chat gets filled up with people that just don't understand what I'm saying. But so I'm glad you're here. Why would I fight for people? That's another question that I ask. Everybody is getting rounded up. All these groups. I want to ask y'all another question. All these groups that are getting rounded up, do y'all think that they will vote for reparations for foundational black Americans? That's why I don't give a shit. That's why I don't give two shits. You dig? Anybody that's not with reparations, I don't really care what you got going on. You dig? Now it'd have been different. It would have been different if these people were rocking out with us real heavy and yeah, yeah. You know, this is a pro reparation channel. Y'all know that. A lot of y'all are new here. Okay? And you're probably gonna be mad, you're probably gonna leave and not come back, and that's fine. But we are a pro reparations channel. Reparations for foundational black Americans. Okay? Reparations are due. Reparations are owed for my family, my ancestors building this country for free. You dig? Now you can be mad. You can put your little comments in the comment section. You dig? Son of a cool says, who owes you? The American government owes foundational black Americans. You dig? The American government. Please take some time off stream and look into the Signal Chat group leak. What's that, my man? JC, what is that? Ashley is talking about the Irish myth. That Irish shit is a myth. Okay. Uh, yeah. Donald J. Plum says, how come you don't talk about ICE arresting veterans who are citizens or arresting people in the asylum process or tear gassing babies? Listen, man, listen. It's not my business. It's not my business. You dig? Um, as I would blame. See, this is another thing. Why aren't you blaming Joe Biden and them? I want to. This is a serious, heart-to-heart question. Why aren't y'all mad at Joe Biden and them for letting all these people over here? That's what I really want to know. That Ashley called me a liar. Where did I lie, Ashley? XZ says, "Oh, I get it. They don't help you, so you don't help them." Exactly, exactly. Let me tell you something, XZ. My ancestors helped them. The reason why you see melanated immigrants over here is because of the civil rights. It's because of what my ancestors did. So we've helped them a lot. We've helped them a lot, you know what I'm saying, throughout history. We helped them be able to come over here. The US government didn't want them over here. Didn't want nobody else over here. They barely wanted niggas over here. We helped them get over here. You dig? So we've done enough for them. Um, yeah, nobody wants to talk about that. Nobody wants to talk about Joe Biden. Marlon said, "Bro, we've been here. They play both sides, accept it." What do you mean you've been here? I don't know what that means, son. If you've been here, why the fuck are they sending y'all home? We've been here. That's why we're not getting sent home. You got that? You can't tell me you've been here and you got papers. You can't tell me you've been here and you had to go through a process to get here, and it's you could potentially get put out. Marquita said, "What's foundational Black American? People that help history of America." Yeah, Marquita, my foundational Black Americans is simply the people who they call African Americans, Black Americans that do not have an immigrant background, Black Americans who did not immigrate to this country. You dig? If your family was enslaved here in America, then you're a foundational Black American. We're the foundation of America. You dig? Ashley J. Williams said, Real black people. Pretty much. Pretty much. Andy S said they taking all the history off the buildings here in Philly, and it's a shame. Yeah, I saw that. I saw that they ripping down all the. Let me tell you what's going to happen. And why I'm not worried about the little symbolisms. What's going to happen is Trump is probably going. I mean, the Republicans are probably going to lose. They're probably going to lose next election, and then guess what? All the shit is going to go right back up. These people are so petty, the Democrats and the Republicans. They're playing a game right in front of our face. I'm going to get in office, I'm going to tear shit down. I'm going to get in office, we're going to put shit up. It's just a big ass game, man. BDR said, take care of the U.S. people first. I agree. I agree. That's why when people say, well, I'm not paying reparations to you, so you mean to tell me you would rather your money go over to Ukraine? You would rather your money go over to the illegal immigrants. And now they're talking about paying each citizen of Greenland. Listen I want to talk to all of you're not getting reparations. You don't deserve I want to talk to all the you don't deserve reparations people. Listen to me clearly. They proposed, what was it, 50 billion. Where all you Negroes don't deserve reparations? Where y'all at? They proposed 50 billion to Greenland and $57,000 per individual from Greenland. Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. It's just black folks. You don't want black folks to get the money, right? The people that built the country for free. You don't want us to get the money, right? Right? Yeah, Ashley, that's why we are called foundational black Americans. If somebody says, hey, I'm an African American, or somebody says I'm black, or somebody says, something like that, if they don't identify themselves as foundational black Americans, then either they haven't really, got to the point to where they have delineated or, they're trying to disguise themselves as a foundational black American. But we identify ourselves as foundational black Americans now. You dig? Yeah, where did the reparations people go though? I want to know where they went. Because are y'all cool with that? Are y'all cool? Are y'all cool with Greenland? Do y'all know that I don't even care if they get it. The fact that they said, because every time we talk about reparations, people are like, well, we're gonna go in debt. We don't have the money. But when we want to acquire Greenland, we got 50 billion. And they gonna give 57,000 to each citizen of that land. Come on, man. Ashley, how do you feel about that? You don't want black people in this country to get reparations. How do you feel about Greenland getting all that money? How do you feel about Ukraine getting all that money? How do you feel about the immigrants coming over here, right? They just get the red carpet rolled out. James said reparations should be a college scholarship for no, hell no. See, James, now this is the time when we ask where you're from. Where are you from, James? Where's your family from? Because the slave owners and the corporations, they didn't get college education. They got cash money. They got generational wealth. J.P. Morgan, Johnson and Johnson, slave owners. They built generational wealth. Arkansas 223 says slave owners' descendants kept getting reparations for slavery all the way up until 2016. Man. BDR said, do you believe Jesus died for your sins? No, I don't. You know who died for me, man? Do you know who? Let me tell y'all something, man. Y'all know who died for me? Look here. I love that question. Martin Luther King died for me. Malcolm X died for me. all of the people that lost their life in the struggle, in the civil rights struggle, they died for me. You understand? Not somebody that was made up. Yeah, Chandler didn't like that. Chandler said, "I'm out." See, you don't like that shit. They want niggas to believe in Christ. That's what they want, right? Big Daddy, I keep calling him by his name. BDR said, "How do you think you got here?" My mother and father. Okay, those are my first. Those are the first concept of a higher power. They brought me into this world. You understand? Side Clippy said, "I support Trump." When did you hear me say I support Trump? This whole stream, I've been telling you how both sides cannot be trusted. Why are you making shit up, sir? Ashley said, even atheists know Jesus existed. Listen, I'm not here to bash anybody's religion. Okay, I want people to believe whatever makes them feel good because at the end of the day, it's just a belief system. Now, I believe the Creator. Okay, the Creator. I believe there is a Creator, but I believe the Creator is so awesome that nobody knows who it is, and nobody knows how we got here. You understand? A book can't tell me about my Creator, about the Most High. You understand? I believe in the Most High. A book can't tell me about that. Anybody tries to give me a book telling me how we got here, I'm running far away from them because you don't fucking know. You weren't here. Somebody made it. Somebody printed that. Somebody gave you a story. There are 4,200. How many religions are there? 4,200 different religions? But I'm not here to bash religion, man. Let me tell you, I I participate in self-help groups, and in the self-help group that I participate in, it's a belief system. You know what I'm saying? I believe that if I participate in this 12-step fellowship, that you know I'll live a good life, and I believe that. And not everybody believes that, and that's fine. So I'm not here to bash anybody's belief system. Uh, James says, "Hey BDR, I'm allowed to be a small hat in your Christian America. Tell the truth." Man, we had a good show today. Donald J. Plump says, "If it doesn't defend your opinion or destroys your opinion, you skip over the comment." No, talk to me, brother. Did I miss your comment? Did I miss your comment? Talk to me. I didn't see your comment. If it doesn't defend your opinion, I don't care, bro. I'm not here to. This is just where I come to vent. Y'all need to understand that. I don't come over here to get YouTube money. I come over here to vent my feelings and how I feel and my thoughts. Side Clippy, though, I answered one of your comments, bro. Yeah, actually, it is kind of hard to read every comment. You can't read every comment, man. So you might gotta put it in a super chat. I mean, shit. I don't need the money, but if it's that important to you, put it in the super chat. Um, yeah, man. Look, it's been a good broadcast. I might come back this weekend, chop it up with y'all. Y'all stay safe out there. Stay smart, man. If you're really about justice, if you're really about America, don't pick a side. Okay. At this point, everybody should stand in the middle and tell everybody on each side, let's stop picking sides. You dig? I appreciate y'all. Ashley J. Williams, appreciate you. Salty Dog, appreciate you. Y'all be easy. I'm out.